the untamed frontier, gunfights under blazing skies, and a brotherhood that faces every challenge together. Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads, where today we're saddling up for a journey into the rugged world of Louis L'Amour's The Daybreakers.
Happy pre-Thanksgiving. I am back with another book review. Today we're talking book number 6 of the Sackett series, The Daybreakers by Louis L'Amour. Published in 1960, it is a Western frontier genre. I picked this book up because, well, it is one of the books in the wagon train. We're reading 2 books a month. But lo and behold, we are taking December off, and I can tell people are getting a little, I wouldn't say burned out from the Sackett series, but some of the other wagon train members that aren't as hard as this city slicker are starting to get a little burnt from some of the lack of storylines from some of the Sackett genealogy. Myself, I enjoyed this book. I think it was good. It's definitely a step down from the previous entries, and we'll get into that. But unlike my softer wagon train mates, I actually enjoyed this. Now, we are taking December off. We did plan books 7 and 8 in December, but we're going to take a month off for that. The captain, Hyde and Reed, talked everyone in, made the executive decision to kind of pause for December. And that's fine by me in the sense that I have a lot of other books I want to get to as well. And I got behind on the Dandelion Dynasty book for November, and so that will help me catch up in December or some, so that's a good thing. So let's jump right into the summary of this book, because you don't want to hear about all that stuff that you may or may not care about. So the summary of the story, it follows Tyrell and Orrin Sackett. They are the main protagonists in this story. It kicks off in a very interesting fashion. These two brothers, a guy's going after Orrin. Tyrell sees it, and lo and behold, Tyrell has to put him down. And so Tyrell goes to his mom, and she tells him he needs to head west, and he needs to find a home and a job and kind of a ranch for them that they can settle down. And her mom and the younger brothers will go and meet Tyrell and Orrin. And so they flee Tennessee and head along the Santa Fe Trail and make their way to around Mora, New Mexico. And so this novel kind of chronicles their journey from Tennessee out west and what it entails. And it takes place around in the 1800s, which I found interesting as well. You have discussions about legislature and some of the things about, talking things, just shooting everything, kind of, the wild, wild west. It's kind of slowing down and kind of getting a little more metropolitan in a way. And so that was interesting. So in terms of what I liked about this, obviously Ty and Orrin, I liked that. They were very contrasting characters, and I liked both of them for what they were. I definitely lean more towards Tyrell. Orrin heavily reminded me of Faceless. I think, Faceless talks a big game, but he's a big teddy bear, kind of Orrin is, and Orrin's kind of a people person, and he likes ladies, and so that reminds me a lot of Faceless. I think that's what he is, a big teddy bear that talks a good game and chases ladies. And so anyways, Tyrell reminded me more of myself. He is the harder, maybe not as cute as Faceless, but he's the more harder brother, and he's going to take care of business, even though Orrin's bigger than him. And so that kind of reminded me of that, and I'm being serious, that those two really kind of reminded me of my back and forth with my nemesis, Faceless. I really enjoyed the cattle drives in this. Orrin and Tyrell pick up two older gentlemen, Cap and Tom Sunday, and they start doing some cattle driving to raise money. They start working for Don Louise, and then they kind of go out on their own. And all the while, Jonathan Pritz, who's this kind of person that's come from the East as well, and his daughter Laura catch the attention of both Tyrell and Orrin, and for different reasons. Tyrell doesn't trust Jonathan. Orrin likes Laura, and Tyrell's not for sure about that, but Orrin talks a good game. He can talk anything, and that was one of my favorite excerpts that's coming. But it kind of creates a conflict and plot thread that's interesting. I also liked the fact that Tyrell likes Don Louise's daughter, Drusilla, and she calls her Drew, and I thought that was interesting as well. Again, Tom Sunday's this older gentleman that teaches Tyrell and Oren, reading and writing, and their charisma, especially Oren's charisma, he's going to be a shoe-in for a mayor or a legislative position, and they talk about that throughout the story as well, which I found really interesting. Some of the conflicts are really good. I like some of the shootouts. I like the cattle drive information and stuff and how they deal with people trying to say, you stole my cattle, and, just like they try to kick people off land and throughout some of these Sackett entries. I really like that. In terms of dislikes, Tyrell and Oren were fun characters, but Jonathan Pritz being one of the main antagonists was just kind of, it really didn't amount to much. It was more kind of an introspective look at some of the inner circle and some of the turmoil that comes later. And so that's really where the main, to me, conflict comes from. And I really thought Pritz was mentioned throughout, especially with the connection with Laura and Oren, and so it really didn't amount to much. The bond that the brothers have was another dislike I had. I mean, obviously the brothers, they have this bond, and I was fine with it, but it got a little heavy-handed at times by Amour, as he mentioned it over and over and over again. I kind of, after the first time, I kind of understood, and I didn't need to be, my hand to be hold, throughout the story about it. But that's me being nitpicky. In terms of rating, I gave this a 3.6. It's good. It's not up to the snuff of the first 5 books. All the first 5 books are 4s. You have some in the low 4s, some in the mid 4s, and some a little higher than mid 4s. And so this is the first Sackett book that I rated below a 4. Overall impression, one of my least favorite. It's below a 4, but it did have some interesting excerpts, and I want to share with you. One was, we like our coffee strong, but this here would make this here would, I'm just going to start again. You're going to get this blooper in the video. I'm not cutting this. Okay, excerpts. So this first one, we like our coffee strong, but this here would make barbed wire grow on a man's chest instead of hair. And so I thought that was really funny. The other one was related to Oren. And I mentioned, Oren's a people person, reminds me of Faces a lot. But Oren, he could talk a squirrel out of a walnut tree. And I thought that was interesting as well. Again, overall, I enjoyed it. It's definitely not up to the first 5 books in terms of quality and character connection and settings and just plot. It is good. It's a quick read, around 200 pages or less. I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm going to enjoy, like my Wagon Train members, a little bit of a break and catch up on some other things. But that is my review of Louis L'Amour's The Daybreakers. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and I will talk to you all on the next one. Thanks.
3, 2,